In our next session, we're going to talk about Microsoft Teams and how to measure the quality of calls and meetings. Mårten Hellebro is going to take us through that. I already introduced him, but he's still from Sweden, still on Office Apps and Services MVP. Take it away, Mårten.
Thank you, Ståle, and thank you for you watching this. I really appreciate you taking time off your busy schedule and listen to this session about reporting and quality in Microsoft 365. So, why quality? Well, it basically is about productivity. I mean, we have like a million things to do, and we really need to get them done. So, with quality, we can actually do the work that needs to be done. And what about why reporting? Why is that important? Well, with great reporting comes great confidence in that your services and products are being used and used in the correct way and working as expected. Because in situations like this, no news isn't good news. Because if Teams, for example, isn't working, then your users will start using something else because they also have a million things to do and they need to get their work done. All right, here's a spoiler alert for you right now. Listen carefully. The network is important. Yeah, the network is the fundamental on which all our communication happens. So really, really important. And I know that many of you know more about network and networking and networks than I do. So this won't be a crash course in networking, I promise you. But I want you, after this session, to have enough confidence to stand in front of a network team. Enough confidence, that's the key here, enough, and tell them what information you need from them, and also perhaps tell them what problems that they need to fix that you found in their networks. So you can kill the productivity killers, deliver awesome reports to upper management, and be the hero. Are you with me? Okay, great. Yeah, let's do this. Let's start with productivity. You all know this feeling. You get into the flow. You have work that needs to be done. It just gets done. Everything is awesome. And then, boom, a productivity killer hits you and throws you completely off guard on the floor. And it takes like forever to recover from that. Yes, and it could be an email, it could be a chat message, it could be a Teams meeting that you missed, or it could be from someone you know, someone you don't know. It can be your cat, and oh, kitty, you want to come? Kitty, no, okay. And then we also have our productivity scores, where we can get help on book focus time to actually have time to do all the stuff that we need to do. And we also get input into how you are feeling, how you're doing your work on after hours, in weekends, and things like that. But user behavior, like your cat or emails or your mobile phone, they're the user behavior part of the productivity. Then we have the other part. Any guess what that could be? Yeah, I think you guessed it. Technology and network. Yeah? Okay, a quick show of hands here. Who knows about TCP/IP? What it is, how it works, what it stands for? Yeah? TCP transport something IP. Yeah, IP addresses are unique identifier of our devices on the network. All right? And who knows about network subnetting? well enough so you can tell the rest of us here? Anyone? Yeah, I see some hands there. But me? No. No, not me. Not at all. Because you don't need to be an expert here, but you need to have the basic knowledge. And now I come to the part of the presentation where I'm supposed to build credibility so that you will think that I know what I'm talking about. So let me tell you a little story here. Imagine it's year 2000. We have just survived the millennium bug. I am young. I'm at home studying for my first certified exam for Microsoft. It's called Internet Working with TCP/IP on Windows NT4 server. Yeah, something like that. And wow, it's a completely new world opening up in front of my eyes. It's connected devices, it's networks, it's IP addresses, and things throwing back and forth. And it's, wow, it's truly amazing. So, and maybe some of you wondering, did I pass? 1 second. Yes, I did pass. And if you look here closely, it's signed by Bill Gates and everything. Yeah, CEO of Microsoft at that time. Yeah, I'm gonna put it back here. All right. But now I have a confession to make. Okay, this stays between us, right? After that, I haven't studied networking at all. Nope. True story. However, I have been involved in many complex network environments, situations as a Sky for Business consultant, driving link server projects and also Microsoft Teams projects. And I learned a lot from that. And I also learned early that by making friends with the network team, you have a lot easier to get the information you want from them. And also tell them what problems they need to fix that you found in their networks. Yes. So, with help from your new friends in the network department, you need to define the networks. You need to actually identify each IP addresses and put it into a physical location. And we do that by defining our networks in regions, countries, offices, floors, for example. So we can pinpoint where these devices are and then also find those productivity killers, and we can show them on the reports where they happened. But we don't need to define every single IP address, and because we are using subnets, which is a subset of IP addresses on a network. All right, and here's a super tip for you. Listen carefully. When talking to the network team, try not to make them feel like you know more than you do, because that will never end well. So keep to the basics, talk what you know about, and use their language, and then you should be good. Okay, so what does networks and subnets have to do with productivity? I thought it was a session about Teams quality and reporting. Well, remember, the network, the fundamental on which all our communication is happening. So, and if we don't define our networks and subnets, we are clueless of where these productivity killers happens. Like, are they home? On the office? We don't know. Is it your cat or? Oh yeah. Funny thing about the cat. story from a day back or so. I was sitting at my desk in my home office, and one of my cats comes up and wants to jump up and lay in my lap. Yeah, fine, no problem with that. But as she jumps up, she hits either her head or back underneath the desk and keeps like halfway hanging into my leg. And I'm feeling the claws penetrating my jeans as she slowly tried to climb the last way up. And I was like, ah! And she was like, meow. And I was like, ah! And she was like, meow. Ah. It was a good thing that it didn't happen during a Teams meeting, but yeah, I could count the claws afterwards. Okay, sorry about that. Where were we? Yes, that's right. Exercise time. All right? Now I want you to calculate how many IP addresses or devices each of these subnets can have. And you have 3 minutes starting now. Okay. Stop, time out, pencils down, stop Googling. This was just a fake exercise. Right, but what I wanted to highlight with this fake exercise is that you can actually get the information from the network team in different formats. In this example, A and B are the exact same definition of the same subnet. Where the -24 is the same as 255.255.255.0 subnet mask, which means it is a subnet with 256 available IP addresses, with 1 broadcast address and 1 default gateway, leaving us with 254 available devices on that network. And the same with C and D, where you have a bigger subnet, but still the same definition of different definition of the same subnet. In this case, 512 available IP addresses. Okay. If I had some sleeves, I will roll them up because now it gets interesting. Now we're going to talk about productivity killers. Yes. And with slow being the new broken. I mean, you join a Teams meeting and it takes like 10 seconds to join the meeting, boom, broken. And you search for a file and you don't find it in the first attempt. And when you do, it doesn't open instantly. Boom, broken. And poor audio quality in your Teams meeting, broken. Yes, that is the reality we're living in today. This is what happened. And you know what the most common reason for poor audio quality in Teams meeting? Yeah, I think you guessed it. Yes, network. So what does networks have to do and subnets have to do with productivity? Everything. At least those 50% that isn't your mobile phone, emails, or your cat. So, by defining our subnets, we can pinpoint these problems by mapping segments of the network into subnets to find the productivity killers. And remember, you don't need to be an expert, but you need experts to give you this information. And yes, network teams can be tricky. Yeah, oh, and don't get me started on the firewall teams, but remember, the network is the fundamental on which all our communication happens. And here's the funny part. The network team, they know this. They know they're sitting on the golden egg. Yes, so you need to be smart when you talk to them. And remember, you don't need to be an expert. Okay, a question for you. Who has ever stood in front of a network team and felt, trying to explain something and felt completely lost? Like destroyed. I mean like, destroyed. Yeah, happened to me. Yes, more than once. Yes, that was me. So you can always try to light things up with a joke, for example, like, hey, how long is your network? Or Chuck Norris doesn't do TCP handshake. No, he does roundhouse kicks that initiate the communication, right? You know, TCP, like the handshake to agree, and Chuck Norris did, yeah, you see. It never ends well. But yes, the network is important. And we need to know where those productivity killers happened. And to identify the productivity killers. And we do that by defining our networks in regions, countries, locations, offices, floors, by using subnets. Yes, great, you got this, excellent. All right, when we have the information from the network, we upload them to these 3 tools, where we have the productivity score, the call quality dashboard, and the Teams network planner. And boom, we have the complete picture there, where you can find and pinpoint the productivity killers and be the hero. All right. In productivity score, we have the network connectivity. With our defined network uploaded here, we can see everything. It will look good. I won't go through this in details because my good friend Alexander just did that in the session before. So if you didn't watch that, you can watch the recording of that. The same with call quality dashboard. Without defining our networks here, we can just see if it was a good day today or was it a bad day today, but we cannot see where it happened. So with uploaded data, you will have the full picture. The same with Teams Network Planner. And again, without this information, we are clueless. Okay, to summarize this, use the built-in tools that we have in Microsoft 365 for reports. Define your networks so you can identify, locate, and fix the productivity killers. Right? And if there's one tip, and one tip only that I want you to take away from this session, that is to, yes, make friends with the network team. Because chances are you will need information from them, but you also need their help fixing problems that you found in their networks. Yes, and if I'm allowed to make a reflection here at the end, and I think back on my networking career, starting in 2000 with a certification and everything, I think I did pretty good, thanks to my basic knowledge of like the network, the foundation of the network, and also my ability to make friends in the network team. Oh, sorry. And to wrap this up, be the hero, define your networks, and kill the productivity killers. No, not the cat. Don't kill the cat. But the other productivity killers. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mårten.
Thank you, Ståle.
So, you know we have our crossword.
Yes, I do.
We are about to complete it.
Yep.
And your words are one of the last words.
Yes.
What is it and why?
I can see we already have productivity there. We already have reporting. So my word will be quality.
Quality.
Yes.
Yes. And why?
Quality is important. Otherwise, our users will start using something else that actually does work. And without the quality and the reporting, we don't know if it's working or not.
Yes, and what we want to avoid is users saying it works better at home.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the hands down worst thing we can hear from them. It's like, we have failed.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.